Hi, friends. This is Yana. Today I will talk about how my near death experiences in the last few years shaped the way I perceive my reality. I don't remember most of 2022 because my abuser decided to push me to a breaking point. He would show up unannounced to my home and spend several days at a time using different excuses. Looking back, I know he used scopolamine to drug me to unconscious and inflict abuse on me. I had such severe migraines that remembering anything was a challenge. I was so heavily drugged that I didn't know whether it was daytime or nighttime. I spent a majority of the time writhing in pain and going in and out of consciousness and having hallucinations. I was in a constant prayer. Every waking moment became an awareness of my existence. I sensed the imminence of death, and it tasted bitter metallic. That is the taste of scopolamine. Months before, at the end of 2021, I was in a head-on car accident, orchestrated by my abuser. Just 2 weeks prior, he sent me this picture of Angel Trumpet flower, which puzzled me at the time. It was an act of implied consent. When abuser makes random drops of information about the manner of abuse taking place. At the end of 2022, I started to assert myself. When my abuser called to tell me we're going to a social event in December, I said no for the first time. He seemed surprised and continued to push me, calling every day until the day of the event. I stopped picking up the phone. In 1 month, end of January of 2023, I made the discovery about him using an undetectable, mind-controlling drug on me. It's like the spell was gone. I connected the dots about my abuser and a long-standing mystery illness through the drug scopolamine that he got from cultivating a tropical plant in his greenhouse. It took me another year and another near-death experience to come to grips with reality. I shed all doubt about my intuition that for years was speaking to me through feelings and body sensations that were overruled by my abuser's brainwashing and mind control. Realizing I discovered something I wasn't supposed to find out, and now became a target for the abuser's wrath, was the last piece of the puzzle. The realization that my stepfather, who claimed to be caring and supportive, was anything but, did not happen overnight. I knew that for me to start thinking clearly, I had to be physically removed from my abuser's surveillance and repeated attempts to poison me and take my life. Now, almost 4 months into my journey, I can finally feel what it's like to be free of scopolamine and constant fear of being poisoned. I knew it would be a lonely journey when I set out. I had my share of victim blaming coming from the closest of friends. It's soul-crushing to realize that not only your whole life you were drugged, abused, and manipulated by a predator, posing as a family member. But then when you come out of it, you're called crazy and blamed for the abuse. As in, why didn't you see it sooner? The reason I couldn't recognize the danger I was in lies in the design of the drug. Its purpose is to create amnesia, loss of memory. It's truly a miracle I was able to regain consciousness and remember the moment when his mask slipped and the true monster was revealed. Another name for Angel Trumpet flower is Devil's Breath. I have no doubt that I was in spiritual warfare. Therapists familiar with hallucinogenic and other mind-altering drugs often say about substances having an entity. Scopolamine poisoning is very much like demonic possession, taking away cognition and willpower. I can only imagine how omnipotent and powerful it makes the abuser feel, who is addicted to control, and how small and powerless he must feel now when his primary object of abuse is gone and the truth that remained hidden for 2 decades is being exposed. It's very difficult to revisit my past and talk about very personal, revealing facts about torture and abuse. However, it's the only way I can begin healing. I have already wasted years talking to psychologists. The last one actually wanted to talk about attachment styles instead of acknowledge that I was being drugged to unconscious and taken advantage of. This past year and a half, since I started asserting myself and validating my intuition, I've become my own healer, therapist, and best friend. It's a challenging journey, one that doesn't have a compass or a guide. I often reflect on the fact that the 20th century writer and mystic Carlos Castaneda was no stranger to scopolamine, used by ancient South American shamans for spiritual journeying and ritual. He describes the path of warrior who has already accepted death, therefore viewing every new day as a spiritual battlefield. Being guided by intuition and spirit, the warrior exercises freedom to act according to his heart center. It begins with being aware of your emotional landscape and inner dialogue. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. This helps my channel grow on YouTube.